Hopefully this is recording. Hey up. So this is gonna be the first of a few of these little videos where I just record myself designing something, talking to myself like a lunatic, but just talking through what I'm doing, how I'm using Photoshop, how I'm using some of Bracken's tools, and like little tips and tricks on how I'm kind of getting the most out of them. Let's hop into Photoshop and design something and see how this goes. So this might be a shit show. The design at the end might be terrible. That'll be the funnest thing, is if the design's really bad. And I've just wasted an hour of your life. So I'll show you a quick preview of it now. Somewhere. If you like it, keep watching. If it's terrible, I can only apologize. So my idea for this, and I've got a perfect reference, but I cannot remember their Instagram handle. And sadly, I think they use AI a lot in their work, so it's a bit of a damp squib in it. But it's like silhouettes and lots of glowing colours and blurring out into nothingness, and like vibrant colours looking like they turn into like flames, and like silhouettes of like neon pink and stuff. That sounds, if I can find the reference, it'll be on screen. And I'll make sure to make an effort to do that. But I wanted to do that with like an arm coming up, maybe like solid color gradient out into a deeper background, but really using kind of fluoro colors. So I'll probably be using Super ISO 2 on this, probably putting a little bit of typography in, but that's the plan. And let me just hop in and I'll talk you through everything that I'm doing. And like I said, that's the plan, but that might not happen. So let's just hop in and see what happens. I've got an A3 document here at 300 dpi, just in case we make something cool and I want to get it printed. I'm starting off in the right size. And straight off the bat, I've got my libraries panel here, which is window libraries. And you might use this for like brand assets and things like that. But I've actually chucked in loads of images from Death to Stock, which is a stock website which I have a subscription to. And I just like the projects that I like, I take them and put them in my Creative Cloud library. There's loads in here, so I have to pay Adobe more money, which I love to do. But it's just cool because I've got in all my Adobe apps, I've just got all my stock images just here. And the reason I like Death to Stock is that they have images as like projects. You see all these, like they all look cohesive because they're all part of the same project. This is not sponsored. Use any stock thing that you like. Completely ignore me. But I do like it because of that. So that's why I like it. Some of them can be a little bit too cool and trendy for the sake of it, but there's some really cool images on there. So I'm actually going to search on their website for an arm. Oh, I already have. So this is the kind of... no, it's got a phone in it. Maybe this. Maybe this is quite interesting. If I cut off the arms. Yeah, let's go for this. So I'm imagining cutting off the arms here. Sorry, guys. And rotating it so it's vertical. Right, let's just download that then. And bring that in. That's my face. I'm back. Right, let's bring that straight in. So maybe vertical like this, but I'll obviously cut that off and got rid of the background. Maybe diagonal, corner to corner might be fun. Let's just commit this, and it's still a smart object because we dragged it in from like externally and brought it in. You see, it's still a smart object. So me re-transforming it and scaling it, it remembers its rotation and scale and stuff, and it's not getting like if it wasn't a smart object, it was a rasterized image. If I scaled it down and then scaled it back up, I look very orange, don't I? Don't look that orange on the camera. That's very strange. If I scaled it down and then up again, it'd be really pixelated because it just like bakes it in every time you do a transformation. So because it's a smart object, I don't have to worry about that, which is good because I'm scared of commitment and I like to keep things live and editable. But right off the bounce, let's do a select subject. See what that does. And how good a job that does of... I'm just checking I'm recording. I am recording. Very good. Decent effort of cutting out the arms. There's a little bit in the middle. We might have to go back and check, but let's just mask that. Pretty cool. And then, again, because I'm scared of commit... A lot of my design practice is me being scared of committed to something. You'll discover that. But this is the mask it's created, and instead of going into this mask and like cutting it off here, to keep that as like my original mask, what I would do is actually pop that into a group, and then on this group create a mask, and create this cut off however I see fit. So I'm actually just going to do one like this and invert that mask. So what that means is I can go back into this and change it, and we've still got this original mask, but now in this new group we've got this mask which is just cutting off at the elbows. So I like to just keep everything nested and non-destructive, but we'll see how we get on. What I might want to do is I'm going to create different groups for each arm. So let's do that. What's the best way of doing that? Does Photoshop have a good select object selection? Will that pick out the different arms? I never actually used this. Does it not? How does this work? Oh, that's done the whole image. Right. You highlight it? I thought there was one way you no, okay, that's not it, is it? Okay, we'll go in with the old pen tool. Oh, get off this tool. It's making everything purple. Right, pen tool. God, this is the first time I'm doing this, so this is going to be quite torturous, because it's like, when someone is over your shoulder watching you work and you forget where all the buttons are and you're just clicking on shit and it looks terrible and you're like, oh, I promise I'm professional. It's kind of what's happening here. But the reason I like the pen tool is, again, you can edit it. So scared of committing to things. I just need to rasterize something and just like deal with the fact that I can't change it. But it also gives a nice anti-aliased edge, which is, you'll get it with fonts, the kind of little, you got a sharp edge. Let me put a graphic on screen whilst I talk about this. You have a sharp edge where it would just be either there or not there, the selection. And an anti-aliased one is where it just slightly blurs the areas of that edges of that selection, sorry. So instead of it being just black or white and it being like pixel per pixel, you've got this little fall off. And if I might be incorrectly remembering that, but if I'm right, the pen tool does that, which is nice. And it's something like the magnetic lasso tool or any of the lasso tools don't do that. So this is why I like the pen tool. It can be a little bit tedious, quite a bit of clicking. Don't know if you can hear the clicking or not. This new microphone that I have. Whoa. Big boy. All the gear, no idea. So this is a little bit tedious. But that's why I like to use the pen tool. And this is just me thinking of, I've got a bit of a vision in my head as to what I want this to be. So that's why I'm deciding to separate the arms straight away. It's because I think I want to have them as solid colors with gradients and stuff. So just having this as a mask will be useful, whether I actually mask them off separately or not, but just having that mask, even just for, now what do I do now? Direct select tool. Yes. Okay, so that's a direct select tool. Get me in there. Go back on the pen tool. Just join this. Yes. Lovely stuff. Yeah, just having this mask. Sometimes I create an empty layer and just put a mask onto that layer, just so I've kind of like kept it in reserve. I know you can do select, save selection, but for some reason in my head, it just makes sense to kind of like have it hidden somewhere as a little backup. So now I need to know which way round I'm doing this. This is the arm on the right, so I need to do this. Right, so that's done supposedly nothing because that's actually just created a path which will end up in my paths panel, this work path. So now I can hit Control or Command and click on that little thumbnail here. That sets it as my selection. Now what am I doing? Right. Now I'm going to chuck this arm into another group and just with a selection like that selected, if you just hit the mask tool, it'll like automatically make a mask of that selection. So now I've got this. So that is what I wanted. Now, if I duplicate that with Control J, Command J on a Mac, I believe, then with this, I can just invert that mask. So now I have the two arms separated. Lovely stuff. That's only taken 10 minutes. Jeez, this might be a while. But now we've got this. This is good. And I'm going to go in actually and just remove a bit of this. Now, this one I'm going to be a bit faster and looser with because I don't... am I? Yes. This model looks a bit cold. Skin looks a bit cold there. Oh, this is fast and loose. Oh my lord. That was bad. Right, let's not do that. Let's do a bit of this. Oh, right, pen tool again. Pen tool again. So that's a good example of why the pen tool is quite good. Because as annoying as it is that now I've just finished that, that'll end up being my work path. I'm sure I could have created a new path or something and kept that saved, but it's overwritten it. But overwritten it. That doesn't matter for this. That's the wrong group. No, it's not. Alt delete. Nice. A little bit of jankiness there, but let's just see what we do, what treatments we do before we get too hung up on that. So this is pretty cool. We've got arm. I'm just gonna name them. Arm right and arm left. And now decide what to do. So let's do either a 2-color ISO with a color background or a 3-color ISO. Let's do 3. So I have everything installed, obviously, because I get high off my own supply. But Super ISO 2 comes with some, Super RISO. Trying to learn to say it correctly. Super RISO 2 comes with these actions, and there's one here, set up 3-color. So if I play that, it'll do its thing, and then it will leave me with a load of groups on the right hand side. I've actually not done this whilst recording before, so this might slow my little laptop down. I've played the set up 3-color action. That's created these 3 groups: color pass 1, color pass 2, and color pass 3. And if you've ever used this before, you might know what to do. If not, it basically prompts you to put your artwork in the artwork group, and then you can start to use the layer styles and actions to create like a realistic digital RISO, which is fun. Look at this little bit of hair. Oh, I need a haircut. So I am going to take both the arms that I created and just pop them into each group. Because what I like to do is just put things in all the groups. And let's start off with a preset. One of these 3 color presets, 300 DPI, blue, fluoro pink, yellow. Bit of a classic, but let's try that. Okay. So what it's done there is it's applied styles to the groups and then manipulated this layer here called channel shift, which is a black and white adjustment layer. And with Super ISO, it works in the way that Super ISO basically takes your black and white values and makes them look like a risograph print, adding the grain and stuff. So here, the black and white values, the darker the value, the denser the ink, I guess, in this. So what we're going to do with this actually is I'm going to start. Oh, a little bit of a lag there. I'm going to start with turning the arms off. Let's do one atom at a time. I'm imagining a gradient from here going down on both arms in quite bright colors. And it being quite a simple piece. Maybe the background being a solid color. That's why I went for 3 colors. So straight off the bounce, let's just focus on this blue pass. And we can change the color, but let's just start with it like this. I've hidden one of the arms. I'm creating a gradient. I'm going to make sure it's a fully opaque black to white gradient. Click OK. And I'm going to clip this to that arm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, what? This is what I'm imagining, and then I might put the 3rd color on top to add a bit of detail back into the actual limbs so they don't just look like solid colors and silhouettes. Right. Okay. Let's do the same thing. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's pretty fun. Let me do the same. Let me stay on my train of thought and do the same thing, but with the opposite arm. So I'm going to take that same gradient, but I'm actually going to reverse it. I'm going to go in here and just change the angle. Clip that to the left arm and remove the right arm. Okay. Looks kind of shit. But then if we add this 3rd color in, okay, not have it yellow, but this is it. This is it. Let's have these colors as fluoro pink is nice. I actually quite like the, what are we on here? 300 DPI, yeah, right, grain touch. I quite like I've got a print in here that's a fluoro orange, which is a lovely color. In real life, it's really bright, it's really fluorescent. You can't emulate that with RGB. It's just like mess with your eyes when you see it. It's really cool. And then with this one, teal is quite nice. Mint or aqua. And then with this yellow pass. So this yellow is our original arms. That's why we're getting this like shading. If I make this something quite dark. Not that dark. Okay. And then go into my channel shift and lighten this. Okay. So which is interesting. I think I preferred it before. But what I'm doing with this is I'm using this. If I hide these other 2 groups, I'm almost wanting this just as like a detailer. What if I add those gradients back in? So I'm going to nick both the gradients and bring them in this group, and I can clip them to their correspondent arms. Is that the right one? Don't know if I got these the right way around. Yeah. and then set them to screen. Yes. Okay. So this will basically fade out the detail at the bottom. Now above this channel shift, if I put levels in here, now I can play with that a bit. Yeah, nice. Okay. So now when I bring these colors back in, did I prefer it before? What did I do before? This. Okay, that's all right. I think I preferred this. So so the vision was rubbish. That's all right. Now we know. Let's delete that. What we can do is change tack a little bit, and instead of this being, let's grab our original selection because we kept it, and then we can hit Control and Alt to like minus out. Oh, damn it. Plus that one? Oh no. Okay. Right, anyway, we've Control selected this mask. Now let's make a solid. Right, and this is cool. Let's make this black. This is doing the opposite of what I want it to do, which is fine. So we just click on that mask, hit Control Command I, that inverts it. This pattern overlay is a bit intense. I'm actually going to go onto the ink overlay and change that to one of the ones that's a bit more basically not got like big streaks in it. It's a bit more consistent throughout the whole document. That one's all right. Let's go for that one. Cool. So that's number 4. It had number 3 before. You see it had these like big swatches of white. I want it relatively subtle like that. Cool. So, but it's missing out these bits that we cut out, which is this mask. So if I select that, and I get this wrong every time I do masks. Nope. I need to select the inverse and then do Alt delete. Nope. Control delete. Yep. Literally every time. I've been playing in Photoshop for like 15 years and every single time. I don't know what I'm doing there. So this little slither of white is showing. So let's just select that. Might be still in our paths. It is, however. It's not. This might be a magnetic lasso job, actually, because of the contrast. Let's try that. Yes. Here we go. So we've done about 20 minutes here. Not achieved a huge amount. Control invert that. Okay, so we have our background color. Maybe we go back to something like the ooh, okay. Now this is pretty fun. Why is that showing through? What's happening here? Yeah, it is working. It's doing what I think it is doing, but maybe it's just because of the colors I selected. And I actually, I wonder if we bring these gradients back in. You know, the ones we had before that we set to screen. Okay. Oh, that's kind of what that's doing. Is it? What's that doing then? Here it is. Does it need to be shrunk down? Maybe we need to play with the scale a bit here. Why does that look yellow? It should be white, shouldn't it? Where's that yellow coming from? From this. What? Let's hide these two color passes. Oh, okay. It's because we've still got the arms visible. That's what I wanted. Right. I was getting confused there. Okay. Yes. Yes. Maybe that. What? Okay. So basically, with anything with Super ISO, anything in your group, dark values turn into the ink color, white remains white, and they all set to multiply. That's how the inks work in general. There's some nuance differences. Okay, so now there's something else happening here. I need to turn that arm off. And I need to set this to not clip like that, but set this to screen. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So we're keeping our details in the fingers. Okay. Now, do I hate this? Is the next. Maybe I like it when we bring the yellow arms back in, which is why they were getting so affected by this ink color. Okay, all makes sense. So this is kind of cool. Ooh, that's kind of horrible. I think if we hide these arms again and do something like moss. Well, let's do red. A blue. And like there's a sunflower or apricot. This might be not a very thrilling watch, but this is kind of what I promised, was this long form video of me doing something so you can see what decisions I'm making. This is it's close. It's doing something, but it's not quite. I mean, that is quite striking. Okay, maybe that is quite fun. Maybe the colors need a little bit of shifting. This is quite fun contrast. A good tip is, on top of everything, if you create a black and white filter, you can see the tonal contrast of colors as opposed to just seeing the colors as they are. So here, these are quite similar, which is why it not only are the actual colors in hue similar, orange and red, but there's not a lot of contrast going on there. This is quite striking because the hue is very different, and also there's a difference in values there. But at the bottom here, it's all looking a bit damp in it. So that is this one. I've really confused myself by using the colors. So let's color this one blue, and this one, what we're going to do, green, and this one red. This doesn't change anything. That just in the layers panel, I can kind of see what I'm selecting. So now I know this group is this blue arm. So let's there is something quite fun about fluoro green, maybe. And we've got this solid black here. This doesn't need to be solid black. It can be, and again, like we said before, with Super ISO, black is 100% ink. It can be. Do you think there's something quite nice there? Maybe... Oh, it's quite fun, isn't it? Maybe that is quite cool. That'd be quite a cool print on your wall, wouldn't it? Would it? I'm just... I'm like ChatGPT or something. I'm just like gaslighting myself, bigging myself up. Yeah, that's probably the best thing I've ever seen, ever. Let's get a little bit fruity and create a border in the red. Right, so imagining a thick border around here in the red, and the arms kind of cross over it and it inverts. Let's see what that means. So I'm actually going to create the border by making a rectangle. What dock are we in? 3508 by 4961. I'm just looking at the bottom here. That's my document size. So I'm just doing one so it fits 100%. Let's not have any radius on it. Click OK. Let's ignore that. That's fully black in color. That's why it's kind of doing weird things. But if I go into the shape properties by clicking on this on the left here, remove its fill and give it a white stroke, changing it stroke on the inside, and then bump that up. Yeah, nice. Okay, so it's giving me a white border. That's what I'm thinking. Not as intense as that. Maybe as intense as that. Maybe it's not even a border. Maybe it's just a rectangle that's twisted. Okay, let's just put a pin in that. Let's nick this mask, create a group, and apply that mask to the group. So now that's not done anything, but it's just given me a group with that mask in. So now if I hide this rectangle and this black solid, in this group, I'm going to create a rectangle with black color. So that's now giving me a rectangle that's got the arms as a mask. Oh, now this is something. Is it? Oh, this is awful. And it's just me in the studio. It's just me and the dog. It's like, I'm bigging myself up to myself. Whoa, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Is it? So what's nice here? Oh, I see a little peek of it. I mean, maybe this could be some type. No, I think keep this as a straight shape. It's nice like that, but I'm just going to duplicate it just so I've got a backup of it. I wonder if the rotation is opposite to the hands, whether that looks nice as well. Okay. That might be something. Or is it too much going on? Is the eye kind of bringing you down? Do you just want to tilt your head? Do you know what I mean? Is that a bit too much going on compared to that? I mean, it's kind of fun when we get a bit of the arms in. Like a bit of the white arm that it's getting wrapped around. So I wonder if we don't cut them off at the elbow, you know, if we get that full mask, which was here, and replace that mask with the mask of the arms that wasn't cut off at the elbow. Good heavens. What's that done? That's the opposite of what I wanted to do. Yeah. Oh, but it's not kept our little bit in the middle. So let's go back and grab that somehow. I'm here talking to you about how to use Photoshop. Some things I'm so slow with, like this mask. What's the best way of doing that? Absolutely not that. Oh, good heavens. How do I select a little bit of the mask, but not the whole thing? Not like that. Maybe we just don't for now. We'll come back to that. I'm conscious of time. This is doing something which I like very much. I like the overlap here. Okay, I'm liking this. I think I'm liking this. I wonder if I align this to central of the artboard. So these little breaks, I think there's something very fun happening here. I think that's pretty cool. Is it annoying that it's not equal boundary? Do I make everything bigger so we can go squatter and wider and it's a perfect thingy? With stuff like this, for me personally, I'm looking at that and I'm seeing that as an unintentional off border. So like if it was tiny, if it was like this, well, for me, it either has to be intentionally central and skinny. That's pretty cool, actually. I love this flowing shape. This negative space coming in here and this one out there. I'll probably make this white to get rid of this and turn that into, maybe that's it, because it cuts just here. It starts here and it mirrors that up here. No, sorry, very distracted. What I was talking about is some things I feel like they've either got to be off, like really off, like that is a column in the middle, or before it felt like it was almost a border, but it either needed to be a perfect border, like we had with this white rectangle, or it had to be, it had to be like this. Excuse me, with a perfect border on all four sides, or actually that is quite cool, isn't it? I am torn between that and that. I like both. I think that might be more striking. I'm going to fix this gradient. So that's in my blue layer, this one here, if I'm right. Yep. So I'm going to go into this gradient, adjust this scale a little bit, just bring that down. And you can click when you're on this dialog box of the gradient, you can click and drag in your artboard and it'll move stuff around. So where do I want it? I want it to not show any of that basically. So let's just bring it up like that. I'll do. Just kind of fades in from nothing. Oh, I'm undecided between that. I'd fix that slither in the middle and then I'd probably manually add a bit of white here. So it's I like that this goes from straight to this organic shape, whereas here it does organic and then a bit of the straight. So I'd go probably draw in some white from here, going up like that. But I am torn between that and I think I prefer that, I think the negative space here is more striking. I'll keep them both there because it's all editable. And because we're going to do this, I'm actually going to go back to our original technique. This is so tedious. I'm so sorry. Instead of having this, I've got the black solid and a white. Yeah. Remember to remove that mask, because I actually wanted the ones with the elbows in. So let's bring that in. So now with this, because I've got a rectangle on the outside with a stroke going in as my margin, I know it's going to be equidistant around every four corner. Because like I said before, if I want this to be a margin like that, then I want it to be right. So what I'm going to do is just with this white stroke, I'm going to bring it so it at least covers that bit here. So it's kind of the full arm and covers this bit here. So if I start sneaking this up, I'm just clicked in the dialog box and I'm holding shift and going up with my arrow key. That's a silly way of doing it. Let's instead use my mouse wheel. Will that update every time? No, I have to press enter. Okay, well, let's just do that. Press enter. So that is doing something quite delightful, I think. And I would usually put a bit of typography in, but I might actually not. I know. So with this, because it's using Super ISO, anything that is white will, get rid of the ink density, the color. Oh, almost fell. While sat down, which is good. Instead, I'm going to actually add one of the True Glow styles. Am I? Let's try this. You'll see if this works. Using pure white. Yes. So if I click through those, because it's adding a white glow, what it's doing is just adding this lovely amount of blur to my edge almost. See this? Which is nice. Yeah, I like that. And then with these, oh, don't forget, I need to go in and do this. How am I going to do that then? That's in this mask. I need to go back in there with the pen tool. Oh, I could do something clever, couldn't I? With the two masks of the arms. I've committed now. Let's not be clever. No, let's be clever. Let's not do that. I've got my two arm masks, haven't I? Arm right. And arm left. And I've... Has that done exactly what I want it to do? It can't have done. This is such... What? Yeah, it has. Then if I come out of that and... I have to say, I don't know what happened there. I selected both the arm masks, inverted my selection, inverted the whole... Okay. No teachable moment from that. Honestly, sometimes with layer masks, I'm just hitting Control, Alt, Delete, Invert, until it works, which is so stupid. But hey, this is a little insight into my brain as well as... well, yeah. So that's nice. With these layer masks, because in Super ISO, what I like to do is add a subtle blur, and it will just give me a little bit of bleed there. If I double click on this, see if I crank this up loads. It won't do anything. Yeah, it will. What's that doing? I want this. Oh, this would be on my red one. Plus 10 pixels isn't actually that much. If I do 20. No, that's not what I want it to do. Okay, ignore that. The red layer, this one. This is what I want to feather ever so slightly. Yeah, nice. Is that right? Yeah, but not that. Let's just do one. Let's do 1 pixel on that mask and my arm masks, and it will just soften things ever so slightly. And it'll be quite subtle, but it'll just, see, it's just soften that little edge. And we've got no kind of harsh edges. This is looking pretty naughty. Quite striking, isn't it? I think that's quite cool. Okay. And it's not similar to a lot of the stuff. I usually put scrappy type over everything. So I'm actually going to refrain from the type on this one and just keep this as these bold colors. But I'm going to add a little paper texture on. So the way this is, I could get this done as a RISO print in Super ISO, which is lovely. But I'm going to add a little something and just mock this up as a RISO print. So what am I saying there? Mock this. Yeah. I'm gonna what? I'm gonna mock this up as a print. So I've got my 3 colors of the RISO. I've got my red, got my blue, and I've got my green, and together they make that, which is cool. And I like to use patterns as paper textures. And I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Probably one of the original standard paper packs. Let's see if that looks right. So if I just, oh yeah, it's quite subtle, but it's got some little flecks of detail. Yep, hopefully if I let it sit for a bit, the compression doesn't ruin that, but that is quite a lovely subtle texture. So I'm going to pop this straight away into a group called paper textures. And then set it to multiply. Nice, pretty standard. And then I'm going to actually Control or Command J that to duplicate it, set this one to normal. Right click, go to blending options, and I'm basically making the paper highlights for this one. That's what this layer is going to be. This blend if current layer slider. I'm really sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. Apologies. Not very professional. I'm going to click on this slide on the left here. If I bring this all the way up to the right, it starts to hide the darker values of itself and just show the highlights, which is cool, but it's really harsh. So what you can do to make it less harsh is when you hover over that little pip, a little slider, you hold Alt on a PC, I think Option on a Mac, and click on it, and it will just split them apart like that. I'm going to drag that right-hand side all the way to the right, and then the left-hand side wherever I want. This is basically adjusting the contrast of it, and then the fill opacity, the opacity is adjusting the strength of this highlight. So I usually have this like less than 30%. Bump this up a little bit, the contrast. You see what it's doing up here? I want to keep the richness of the red, so I'll sometimes crank up the opacity to see what I'm doing with this blending options. Let's bring that down a little bit like that, and then bring this to about 30%. I think straight away that's actually too harsh. Whatever. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I'm liking this a lot, and that's added a subtle little color overlay as well, because it's got the color of the paper texture. So a subtle little color. What am I trying to say? A subtle, whatever, tint, you know, from the paper texture. Color tint, color cast. Color cast. That's what I was trying to say. Worth the wait. So this is pretty cool. I might add a paper fold just to make it look like handled paper textures. As well as before I had my stock images in the library, I also keep loads of Bracken textures in here as well, in another library. Same principle. Any of these image textures, I can just click and drag and bring them into Photoshop, but also After Effects I really like using. So I can just have them all here. Again, I'm paying Adobe for it, you know, because I had run out of storage. But why not feed the beast? So what am I adding? Paper folds. Right. Paper folds are in here somewhere. Paper folds. And then these bottom ones are made using 80 GSM paper, but I like wet it and then let it dry. So it's got these like nice little crinkles on it, a bit like a poster, mock-up, you know, when you kind of like splat a poster on a wall. So let's see what that looks like. Right. So let's chuck this on. And again, I wouldn't send this to print with the paper texture on. This is just me like mocking it up here and then I could export the layers and get them as a real Riso print. So this is me just making like a digital mock-up and just getting the lovely texture for Instagram, basically. Oof. What is my life? So this is it. And what I'm going to do with any of these paper fold textures or anything like the overlayers or anything that's this 50% gray average value, they play really well with these contrast blending modes: overlay, soft light, hard light, these ones. So let me set this to something quite hard like linear light. And that's adding a lot of dimensionality to it. Maybe too much. So instead of doing that, because all you can do then is like adjust the layers of the what I like to do instead, which just feels like a bit more control, is to set it to normal, pop it in a group, set the whole group to linear light. Because then above the paper texture, but still in the same group, I can actually add some adjustment layers, like brightness and contrast. Because now I can do this and dial it down, and you see how much more subtle that is. And in my head, this makes more sense than just reducing the opacity, because I can do things like change the brightness as well, and change the levels and give it a color cast. Nice. Give it a color cast using like photo tint or color balance or something like that. So what I'm going to do is just reduce this down. And I actually think this texture is a bit too, I don't really like this cutting through the design. I want it to be there as a little ripply job, but not overtake. So let's just see what this one looks like. Yeah, I think this is more it. It's adding a bit of dimensionality, but it's not taking away from the composition and the design that we've just spent ages faffing around making. You know, I want this to be a lovely little addition to it and a bit of a aesthetic and texture thing where we can how would I describe it? It's like a material thing. You know, we're just giving it a bit of context, a bit of like physical context. We're not taking over the design. You know, this is about this layout and these silhouettes and stuff. It's not about the gnarly paper textures on top. We're just giving it a little something. So I can reduce this contrast all the way down, and we get that. And I think that's quite cool. It's quite simple, but I think that's quite nice. And the details are lovely. You know, we can get in here and there's some lovely details to be taken from this. Super Riso grain looking lovely. Paper textures looking nice. And again, this was the original paper fold set to linear light. And the reason I like linear light is because, imagine we had the original like this. We could set this to something like overlay, soft light. They're subtle, but they don't play well with lighter colors. You see, you just can't see it at all here. Whereas linear light and hard light are both really harsh, too harsh, but in doing so, they create shadows on your light backgrounds. So I set it to I set it to overlay and stuff sometimes. That's quite nice. But with stuff like this, where I know there's these kind of really light paper textures in the background, I like to set it to the harshest blending mode. And then either with playing with its opacity or the brightness and contrast adjustment layer here, I'm dialing it back. So I've got like full bore. It's working on colors, light areas, dark areas. It's doing everything. But then I'm just reining it in a little bit so it's not too intense. And it's just adding a subtle bit of tactility and dimensionality. Are they even words? Yeah, I think they are. But you know what I mean? It's adding a little something, as I'd say. But I think that's pretty cool. So we're going to call it there for that one. That's 40 minutes, 50 minutes. This might be an hour. So I do apologize. But hopefully along the way, this has been in the background. You've learned some little tips and tricks, seen a little horrifying insight into my brain, how I use Photoshop. But a lot of what I like to do is just keep things editable so I can go in and change them after the fact. So like the way this is done, nothing's actually been affected. It's all adjustment layers, but the original image is just here. So I could even right click and swap that out for a different image. I mean, everything's still editable and not rasterized, which keeps files quite large sometimes and means I'm maybe having to be a bit clever to keep it live and not just working as fast as possible. But I think this helps for if there's a change down the line, if the client or you or whoever changes their mind. I think that's quite fun. So I'm going to call that there for this one, I think. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I think that's cool. Hopefully a bit more of these. Let's see how this goes. And I found this quite fun and enjoyable. This is where I find out that all the audio is like deleted or something. That would wreck my head.